Hey, you're listening to the Reasons Podcast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy.
Alright, what's up, people? It's your host, rilewa.razzaq, and welcome back to another episode of the Reasons Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking football. Liverpool, Chelsea, the rundown, the debrief, what happened, what didn't happen. And today I've got a special guest, and he's here for the first time, so why don't you introduce yourself, brother?
Hey people, it's Lems. I'm a good friend of Riddle's from uni. Today, we've got a lot to unpack. It was a big game on the weekend. I'll be doing the Chelsea side, he'll be doing the Liverpool side, so stay tuned for some in-depth analysis.
And that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to keep the emotions in it, right? Because obviously we have a Liverpool fan here and a Chelsea fan here. So obviously, you want to keep that, you want to keep it authentic. But at the same time, you want to talk tactics. You want to talk what actually happened on the pitch. Not just the stats overall, not just the XG, not just the chances, the shots. You want to talk what happened, who played well, who didn't play well, and why. So first things first, what are we going to be doing here? Not just today, but in the future, right? This might be Lem's first time on the podcast, but I don't think it's going to be his last. So Lems, what have we got for the people? What have we got in store for them?
Some more analysis of some good games coming up the next few weeks. Sorry, we got some Champions League matches. We got some big Premier League games. Just stay tuned. There's a lot coming.
Yeah, okay. There might be a little Premier League recap. There might be a Champions League recap. Might even delve into the international games. You never know, but just know that what you see here today is what you're going to see in the future. Good analysis and realistically, what we're trying to do is bridge the gap between being a social media podcast in the sense that we're making big stories and headlines or making big takes and actually talking about the X's and O's of football, right? Because at the end of the day, if you want stuff to blow up, sure, you're going to have to say some crazy stuff and clip it up. But I think we want to see if there's a way, or we want to prove that there's a way to make it without having to be provocative in that sense. We don't have to be doing backflips and anything on the show. So yeah, that's basically what we're going to have in store for the future. But yeah, stay tuned. Like Lem says, stay tuned. And just look out. So now that we got all that stuff out of the way, what did you think of the game? Just on a baseline level, what did you think of the game?
Honestly, one of our best performances the whole season. We definitely needed that win because these past few games haven't been great. Red cards after red cards, and then Enzo making negative substitutions. But I thought this was a game that we played our best football, and the substitutions he made really impacted the game as well. So it was definitely a good win for us, but there's also some negatives there. I'll get into that later. But what did you think about the game?
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you guys played very well. Very, very well. And in a way that I didn't think that you guys would play. I thought that as much as we haven't been very good this season, I thought that you guys would come into the game look, they won the league last year. They're top of the league right now. Or I guess Arsenal were because of goal difference coming into the game. But I thought that you'd be more standoffish and you wouldn't really take the game to us. But when I saw the lineups and I saw that initially I thought it was going to be Reece James in midfield because it was Gusto and James in the same lineup. I thought, okay, Gusto will be at right back, James in midfield. And they even asked Maresca about it before the game. And he was like, oh yeah, he's going to be fine in there in the middle about Reece James. So he kind of bluffed and told everybody that Reece James was going to be in the middle. But it was actually Gusto. And it was a masterstroke because he completely limited the parts of our team that make us win games, which is the midfield. Mm-hmm. The link between the forwards and the defense is the midfield, obviously. And Gusto and Caicedo completely nullified that. So I think Chelsea were really good, but probably even more than that, I think Liverpool were just we were really, really, really poor. Really poor.
Yeah, your main man Salah was missing in action. What do you have to say about that?
Brother, I don't know what to say about him, bro. I'm looking to God for answers because I really don't know what to say. In that game, he did so many things that were you could throw your laptop, you could throw your phone, whatever you're watching the game on, you could throw it because you're what the hell is going on? But at the same time, when I was really analyzing the game and I was thinking, okay, what about Salah's performance did I really dislike? he does all of this stuff normally, right? Sometimes he makes poor decisions, sometimes he will miss really easy shots. But the thing with Salah is that normally he'll just score one of the few chances or one of the many chances in this game, and you'll win the game by 1 goal or 2 goals, and you'll be like, oh wow, Salah's performing, he's putting output on the board, and we're winning the game. The other day, we didn't get any output from him, so everything he did poorly was just magnified, and it looked really, really bad. So I don't know what's up with him. It's kind of part and parcel of what you get with Salah. It's just part of it, but it definitely has to improve, because without the output, if he's still going to be making those kinds of decisions, we are in for a very long season.
Yeah, no, definitely. I do think we have a couple negatives from that game. Obviously, we played well, we beat you guys, but our defense was still a bit shaky. We still had I'd say our defenders individually had great games, but as a whole unit, we still let chances come through, and you guys were unlucky that you didn't capitalize on those chances, but we still let those chances happen. So I think going forward, that's something we'd have to work on. But don't get me wrong, this is the best game we've played this season. So
yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Individually, the defenders, I think James was fantastic. He had a really good game.
Yeah.
Gakpo didn't really pose too much of a threat to him. Cucurella was really good, especially going forward. And I think that's something I'm going to we'll get into in a little bit, is the tactical side of why Cucurella was so good. But he was very good, especially defensively against Salah. Obviously, Salah, like we just said, didn't do much. And then the two centre-backs were really good. Obviously, everybody was they don't have any centre-backs. They've got Achimpong, it's his first game and whatnot. But he was really good, other than maybe a couple moments of lack of experience or composure and whatnot, giving the ball away. But defensively, they were really, really good. So, yeah, I completely agree. I think you guys were really good. So yeah, I would agree.
Even Badiashile, as a Chelsea fan, I hate the guy, but he played.
Why do you hate him, bro? Why do you hate him?
Because he's not consistent. He'll come and drop a performance like this. Next few months, he's gone, and then he'll get an injury. He'll come back from the injury, play a couple games, and pass the ball to the keeper, and then get tackled or something. It's just he's not.
Yeah.
Watching him play is not. It's not easy. Especially when he was.
It's not confidence inspiring.
Honestly, especially when he was partnered with Disasi, bro. Worst combination of all time.
Oh Lord,
worst combination.
The worst, just terrible.
Terrible.
And then you tried playing Disasi at right back a little bit. When I was seeing that, I was like, "There's definitely something going wrong over there at Chelsea, bro." And Disasi's playing right back.
Yeah, no, it was dark, but yeah, I'm happy he played well.
One thing about the defense.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I hear that. But one thing about the defense is, obviously you had the injuries, which I guess we can just get into that now. You had the injuries, and that was the big story with the centre-backs before the game. But then both of them got injured in the game and had to be subbed off. So what do you think about that, brother?
Honestly, I don't know when our injury list is going to end, because it just seems like it's just growing by the game. How can our two centre-backs start the game after not starting for ages, and then get injured in the same game? They both didn't finish the game. Yeah, no, it's rough. Our main centre-backs are out. These new centre-backs are out too. We're just cooked, honestly. We're cooked going forward.
I guess that's how it is, right? When a player doesn't play for so long, then you ask him to play 90 minutes. I guess that's kind of part of it. I think that's kind of why Arne Slot was really reluctant to play Isak 90 minutes. Would keep going on. He's not going to play 90. He's not going to play 90. And obviously when Ekitike got sent off in the cup, he was forced to play more minutes than we wanted. And I think the injuries to Badiashile and Achimpong, whether they're actual injuries or just cramp and fatigue, they're good evidence as to why players who haven't played much can't just immediately play so much, if that makes sense.
Yeah. One key thing that we're missing out on, I got a notification on my phone today. Reece James has withdrawn from the England squad. And I don't know if that's a cautionary thing or he's actually injured, but yeah. I did leave that out, but yeah.
That's not good, brother.
That's not good. I don't know if
that's not good. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm trying
Bro,
to
but
figure
that's
out.
how it is with Reece James, right? The same thing you said about Badiashile. Sorry, you gone?
No, it's fine. Continue.
The same thing you said about Badiashile is like the similar thing with James, right? Where he plays really well, drops maybe 3 or 4 games in a row. You're like, wow, this guy's so good. And then I guess different to Badiashile, he doesn't have a bad performance. He just has no performance because he's not playing. He's injured. So it must be very frustrating to be a James like watcher, I guess, or supporter in the same sense.
Yeah, 100%. Because from when he broke into the first team to now, like just watching him over the years, everyone's been saying he's the best right back. He's better than Trent, blah, blah. And then a series of bad injuries, lack of playtime. Then he's coming back and regaining fitness again. Then he's playing games, first time in, like out of his injury, and then getting injured again. So it's like, like, what's going on here? But more recently, he's had a decent run of games. I'd say this is probably the longest he's played in a long time.
Yeah.
But
yeah, probably.
But yeah, I don't know if that's a cautionary thing, that he's just not trying to take a risk of playing internationally and just saving himself for Chelsea. I don't know. But the news said that he has pulled out of the England camp. So
Yeah. I mean, it could be like one of those things where, like, obviously the clubs don't like when their players go out on international break because they have obviously a better chance of getting injured. And there was a big thing with Lamine Yamal recently where he went out to Spain, had these back pains, whatever. They made him take painkillers and he kept playing, and then he missed like 3 weeks for Barcelona. So when those kinds of things happen, like teams are very reluctant to send their players out. I think this could be a similar thing, just because we saw nothing in the game to indicate that he was injured, maybe training or something like that afterwards. But it could be one of those things that Maresca was like, hey, look, I don't want him going, or I don't want you going. And then James made the decision himself. Because I think that the England squad at this point was kind of not, there weren't a lot of injury scares because some of the players aren't actually injured that they thought were. Like Madueke, for example, is out and he's injured. But Declan Rice, he had that back problem. Saka has had his injury problems recently. So it might be one of those things where it's like the teams are just being cautious. But I mean, just for the sake of Chelsea, like I kind of hope he's not injured because I do enjoy it when he's playing. So
honestly, because he is so vital to us. Like even when he's not there, the way we play is just completely different because Gusto doesn't offer the same from right back. So I just hope it's not anything
Speaking
serious.
of Gusto,
Speaking of Gusto, wow,
what a masterstroke, bro!
wow.
Like I still can't get over the fact that in the first minute of the game, the commentator said, it looks like Gusto's playing in midfield. Why the hell is he there? And I'm like, why the hell is he there? Like, we're about to cook. And
Then
the way he shut down, it almost felt like, yes, he cooked us, bro. He legitimately cooked us. The way he locked down McAllister was unbelievable. Like, McAllister's low-key the key. Like, he has the keys in that team. Like, Gravenberch might have the ball all the time, but he's not really progressing with passes. Like McAllister is really the creator in that midfield, right? Malo Gusto said no creating for you today, buddy. He said none of that. And he didn't look bad on the ball either, right? You would assume you put a defender in midfield that, yeah, sure, they're going to do some good defensive work, but they're going to be shaky with the ball. But he wasn't bad. It was kind of weird. I was very surprised, and it was very infuriating. But at the same time, it was kind of cool to see that, like, the tactical side of the game. I was like, damn, this is like, hey, I just got to tip my hat because it's just a good decision from the manager.
Like, I saw the team sheet and it had Reece James in centre mid and Gusto at right back. So I was like, okay. But then from the bits I saw, I was like, wait, Gusto's playing in midfield. What's going on here? Yeah, no, it was interesting to see. But it's not something that I was a fan of previously. Enzo has tried to invert Gusto in some games, and it hasn't always worked out. But
yeah,
in this case, he was actually playing in midfield. So I don't know. Like he played well. He played really well, which is quite shocking.
I saw this. Yeah, it's shocking, but when you think about why it worked, it kind of makes sense. Like he's just about good enough on the ball that he can get away with it, and then he's just a crazy athlete, very fast, pretty physical. He seems to understand the game very well. But I think Maresca has this obsession with inverting defenders. So I think for him it was pretty natural for him to put him there, because I saw this thing with these Chelsea fans. They were very frustrated with Jarrell Hato in one of your previous games. Apparently he was used as an inverted defender as well, and he struggled there. Unfortunately, I didn't watch the game because I don't watch all of Chelsea's games. But from what I heard, it didn't work. And it seems like Maresca has this obsession. And it's not so much about how good the players are playing. It's more to do with the fact that most teams aren't doing that anymore. Whereas, a few years ago, I know we were talking recently about John Stones and how the fact he played in midfield and Akanji played in midfield, Rico Lewis played in midfield from defence. Trent has done it. Even Kirkes was doing it a little bit in the game. But for the most part, teams in the Premier League aren't really doing that anymore. So Maresca's obsession with it is kind of interesting because it's almost like he's going against the grain completely.
Yeah, I've just seen him try to invert like everyone just to see who fits properly. Like he was inverting Cucurella for a bit. I remember towards the end of like 2 seasons ago, it was working and we were actually controlling games properly. But as teams adapt, you also have to adapt too, right? So, yeah.
Yeah. And I guess like since like we're on the topic of Chelsea at the moment, like we will get on to Liverpool. I think when we do talk about what Liverpool is struggling with, I think it is that adaptation. We're not really adapting to what other teams are doing. Whereas Chelsea, I think you're finding ways to adapt to what other teams are doing by doing different things. As opposed to adapting, you're just doing different things. Like you're playing with very direct wingers, like Pedro Neto, Garnacho, like just very direct wingers, because a lot of the time teams now, I think this is the trend in the Premier League, teams are playing very direct anyway, long balls. Like we did it a lot in the game. Mamdashvili would play long balls, Sanchez will play long balls. And when you have very direct players, you can benefit from that, right? And I think that's one thing Liverpool not doing. Like we don't have real direct players up front. Salah's not really, he's not doing it anymore. He's not really running in behind anymore. Gakpo has never been that kind of player. Isak is not really spinning in behind on long balls. I mean, he's involved in the duels. Our midfielders aren't really running beyond the forwards. So I think that's one thing that Chelsea did really well, is they got a lot of players involved in the attacks when you went direct.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say Enzo's system allows everyone to kind of be involved. Like everyone contributes in some kind of way, and they're also able to like adapt to new situations. And that might mean they have to defend for a bit, or they might have to attack for a bit. But anyone who has to do that role, they're capable of doing it and doing it to a high level. So his system works in theory with the right minerals, but I don't know. Some games we just can't. It just doesn't work. So yeah.
I think that's the thing with every manager, right? It's like every manager's system works in theory because they wouldn't put something into practice that didn't make theoretical sense. I think you could see with Amorim, for example, his system in theory is very good, right? You have wing backs that get involved in attacks. You almost attack with like 6 players, but those wing backs are also asked to do a lot of defensive work, which means you can then defend with 5 players or 6 players, including a midfielder. So in theory, it sounds really good, and then in practice, it doesn't work. So I think that's the thing with Maresca, is like his system in theory works, and when it works, you have performances like against Liverpool where you just like, yeah, it's really good. When it doesn't work, it's really bad, and you end up losing some games that you shouldn't lose. And I think we're getting to that point now where our system, when it doesn't work, which has been almost every game this year, we're in games with people that we shouldn't be in games with. Like, why are we playing Galatasaray and it's a struggle? Like, why is Southampton a struggle? Like, I'm not understanding. So we're definitely in need of some change as well, like some adaptation too. And I hope this break is it's almost the perfect time for us to have a break. Obviously, losing 3 games in a row, so hopefully there's something that is changed between now and when the first game after the break is.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because I remember watching your first game, like the first game of the Premier League, and I was like, you guys aren't balanced, but you still managed to win the game somehow. I was watching your new signings operate. Obviously, it's the first game, so I can't judge too harshly. But I was watching Frimpong, Kirkes, and Verts, and I was like, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Frimpong, I was just watching just run up and down the wings and just be out of position most of the time. And I was watching him, I was like, damn, like, is this really the Frimpong that we know? But again, first game of the season, so first game of the season.
Yeah, you know, you might as well get into Liverpool now since we're already there. Like,
As well.
I think the issue is it's not so much to do with the players. And I just finished editing this YouTube video where I talk about all of our new signings and why they aren't working. Right, so that will be, for any of you listening, that will be on my YouTube channel. So check that out. But the problem with Liverpool right now is not that the players are bad, but it's that the players aren't being allowed to be good. Like the system it's not mitigating their weaknesses or accentuating their strengths. It's almost doing the opposite. So Verts, for example, his strengths are being hidden because he's playing a completely different position to where he played at Leverkusen, right? The same with Frimpong. Like Frimpong is now playing right back as opposed to right midfield or right wing back like he was at Leverkusen. Kirkes was allowed to, he almost had free roam to get up and down the left wing at Bournemouth, but since we have so many players trying to get forward, at Liverpool he's almost playing as like a third centre-back when Frimpong goes, kind of how Robertson used to play, where he would tuck in, and Kirkes isn't very good at tucking in, right? He's very good when he gets forward. So we're almost putting our players in positions to fail. And I guess as a Chelsea fan, you probably know what that's like with all of the signings that you've made, and your managers almost just try and force them in. So I wonder what you think of that.
100%. I'm trying to think off the top of my head players who have been played out of position. Well, first of all, Gusta's played in midfield.
Yeah, there you go. There's one.
Reece James has been deployed in midfield a couple times. Cucurella was inverting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just we have a long history. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we have a long history of playing players out of position that we've signed.
Guys out of position.
And then we're complaining when they're not performing.
And it's like
you're not actually playing them in their correct position. So
yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. Is like you're signing these players who sound really good on paper. And maybe I didn't think about this when we signed all of these guys. I didn't think about if they really made sense for our team. So Verts, for example, when you're a fan, right, you're like, okay, my team just signed probably the best young midfielder in the world that's available on the market. You're like, okay, that's a really good signing. But I'm going to pull up the screen share right now of the differences between where Verts played at Leverkusen and where he's playing at Liverpool. So obviously right here you can see that in these two heat maps that the left side is where he played for Leverkusen, the Bundesliga. The right side is where he's been playing for Liverpool. Right? All of his touches, really, for Leverkusen, the majority of them were in this left half space out on the left side. But for Liverpool, he's been central, and he's even been on the right more than he's been anywhere else. And as someone who's played football a lot myself, when you go from doing one thing all the time to going somewhere else, it's almost like you're learning how to play again. Because he's used to receiving the ball, knowing what's around him, and playing on one side of the pitch. And I understand that if you're worth 160 million, you wouldn't assume that this player is just going to be good in one certain position. You'd assume they're going to be good anywhere. But it does explain why he has been struggling. It's like almost, he looks lost. Like he's seeing things that maybe he's never seen before. Like he doesn't really receive the ball in the right half space and have to turn, or he's not getting the ball from a right winger like Mo Salah. He's getting it from a right wing back who's then running in behind, who's Frimpong, right? But he's not seeing the same stuff at Liverpool. It's the same thing that I just said with Kirkez. Like, Kirkez isn't really going up and down anymore. He's kind of just down, which for him is also brand new. I guess at Chelsea, when you guys had João Felix, I remember this was quite an apparent one. When you had João Felix, you just play him everywhere other than where he's good, which is when he's playing with another striker and he's almost like a second striker, but you played him up front on his own, you played him at left wing, he was at right wing, he was in midfield. It's like, you might want to just sign players that you know are going to fit immediately, or at least you have a vision for them.
Yeah, definitely. We were doing the same thing with Enzo for a while as well. We're trying to play him as a deep six and it just wasn't working. We're trying to play him like where Caicedo's playing now, it wasn't working as well. I just think he's better higher up the pitch with a double pivot behind him. And as we discussed earlier, I'd say my double pivot of choice would be Caicedo and Lavia, because I feel like they just complement each other so well. And
I mean, that midfield three, like when you think about that midfield three of Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo, it just sounds perfect, right? It's like Lavia is going to be your tempo controller in a sense. Like, he's very, like, his best qualities are when he has the ball, I would say. Caicedo's best qualities, I mean, Caicedo's just good at everything. Like, good on the ball, good off the ball, wins duels, is just crazy. And then Enzo is really good when he... Yeah, exactly. And Enzo is very good when he's given freedom. He can drop, but he can go, and he can get involved in attacks, and he can get in the box. He's very good when he gets in the box, it seems. Like, he's always popping up in places where he's like causing damage for defenses. So, like you said, when you're trying to deploy him deeper, it's like kind of limiting his game. But what I would say about Lavia is, I really like Lavia, and I was saying this to you, right? I really like Lavia. I don't know if he provides what Chelsea need. Like, I don't know if you need another player like Lavia in your midfield, just because it's the Premier League and he's not... I should pull up the stats, right? But he doesn't seem like the biggest duel winner, and neither is Enzo. So then of your three, you really have one like destroyer type. And although Caicedo can be like N'Golo Kante, where he can kind of just do that on his own, I think it's very risky to have like two very ball dominant midfielders and then Caicedo on the side. So I'm not sure. I really liked, like, as much as Ugochukwu is not the best on ball, his frame and his build, I think, complemented the team better, just because he's a duel winner. Not that he's a better player than Lavia, but like, you have that balance in that sense, because you don't really have any height or size in that midfield if Lavia's in there.
Yeah, no,
I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good take. Because I've always said we need a more physical midfield, and I guess Ugochukwu was the guy for that. But or even people like Loftus-Cheek back in the day. But yeah, you're right. We don't have any height.
Yeah, like Loftus-Cheek was really good for that.
Yeah, we don't have any height in our midfield.
Yeah.
I feel like
and the thing is, like, I should pull this up actually, because I'm not afraid to be wrong or my stats be misleading. But Lavia's stats right here, like, he has a pretty decent percentile in tackles, so he does win tackles, and his aerials are pretty good, right? They're like quite good, especially compared to other Premier League midfielders. Like, when I was looking at other Premier League midfielders' defensive stats, like if you look at, I don't know, let's pull up Caicedo, for example. Caicedo has good tackles, good interceptions, bad aerials. So I think sometimes stats are almost like, you don't want to rely on stats too much, because when you watch football, that often tells you a lot about what's actually going on. Maybe you're reading the game wrong, but I think the stats sometimes can mislead you, because they would have you believe that Lavia is better almost defensively than Caicedo, which I'm not sure if many people would agree with.
It's not true. It's not true.
But it's like, in that game, for example, when Lavia came off the bench, he was winning duels, and it was like, I wasn't impressed because he was winning duels against players who had played 75 minutes or 80 minutes. So I guess in that sense, that's very misleading. Like, there are some stats from this game that are completely misleading. Like the expected goals here, 1 to 1.95, that just doesn't really paint the game like in the correct way, right? I feel like Chelsea created way more chances, way better chances than Liverpool, yet we have twice as many expected goals, right? So I don't know if you find the same, like when you're looking at stats, about how much the stats actually reflect what you're seeing when you watch the games.
Definitely, because sometimes you're watching games and you're like, what? Are we watching the same game now?
Yeah.
But I would say that you had more chances, but you just wasted them like really badly. I think that's why your XG would be higher. Like you'll get into positions to shoot and have a shot on target,
Yeah,
but you'll just put it over the bar.
We definitely, like there were
Especially
definitely
with
some
Salah.
shots that,
Especially with Salah.
yeah, Salah had some shots that were just like this one right here, this 46th minute, and I wish I could pull up the highlights of the game. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that, so I'm just not going to do that, right? Just in case I get in trouble with the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
But this chance right here was like missing the net here, because I saw that we had 2 shots on target and I thought that is absolutely terrible, right? How do we have 2xG but only 2 shots on target? And it's because Salah missed a target on shots like this. This was quite literally, like, obviously not an open goal, right? But this is as close as you're going to get in the Premier League to like a guaranteed like shot on net, like shot on target. You know, there was no defender in front of him. The goalkeeper was essentially in the middle of the goal. Like all he really had to do was put the ball on target, and you know, a rebound or just anything other than what he did would have been good for us. You know, so I think the stats here, like, I guess they're not misleading in the sense that these chances did happen, but this shot from Salah right here is not 0.15 xG. Like this shot was not like a good shot. Like I don't know. I said in one of my videos recently, I want to know where they get xG from, because it doesn't seem to be the same place that football matches happen. Like it seems to be in a different reality. So I'm not sure. XG just confuses me sometimes.
Oh, so you're saying that Salah shot was more of a half chance than an actual chance?
Yeah, I think there's a clip of it somewhere where when he receives the ball, he has, I think it might be Gakpo at the far post and Isak is trailing, and it's like a 3-on-2. So normally, or often, Salah tries this trivela pass across the box, and we've seen it numerous times. And in that situation, probably would have been very effective, and Gakpo would have had a good chance. Or he had Isak trailing, and I think this is why Isak's not looking very good at the moment, is we're not giving him the chances that he would normally have. But Salah decides not to pass the ball to either of them and comes all the way across the box. And by the time he shoots, it's not really a chance anymore. It's like if he were to have scored from there, it would have been unbelievable, if that makes sense. But somehow that's 0.15 xG. But the one that I think most people who've played semi-pro football are putting in the net is only just a little bit less valuable. Somehow that's... I don't understand how that could be less valuable than the other one, but I guess that's XG for you.
I feel like XG has just ruined the game, to be honest. People will be watching games and they will lose the game and be like, but we had more XG, but we still lost. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what football's about, right? It's just putting the ball in the net, you know, not expecting to put the ball in the net.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I wanted to ask, were there any players that you were particularly impressed with on either side, either Chelsea or Liverpool, just so we can, you know, spotlight some of the best performers in the game?
I'm sure you already know Caicedo. Caicedo was my number one for that game. Alan Shearer said on Match of the Day, his performance was a combination of Frank Lampard and N'Golo Kante, and I was like, wow, that's literally what it was, because as much as he was protecting our defence and carrying the ball forward, he was also contributing to the attack, arriving late into the area, like he was playing well. So it was I wouldn't give him the title of a 6. I'll say he's a hybrid, because he does everything, to be honest. I feel like Enzo's system makes him have more than just the normal role of, I don't know, tackling, interceptions, ball winning, etc. because he also contributes to the going forward. Badia Chile, as we said earlier, was very solid. Positionally, he was great. Like, there was one chance that I saw, can't remember who it was against, but he completely shielded them off and he couldn't get the ball. And the ball went out for a goal kick.
I remember
I was
exactly
really
what you're
impressed.
talking about. Yeah.
I was very impressed. Cucurella had a great game, locked up Salah, but then he also got himself an assist as well to show like just how capable he is at both ends of the pitch. Joshua Champong, we've already said.
I think
of more.
the two that you mentioned were like definitely worth spotlighting. Caicedo and Cucurella for, I guess, for different reasons. I'd say Caicedo played really well in the sense that it wasn't even the perfect set of circumstances for him, and he still performed really well. He was up against a midfield that is obviously a really good midfield, and last year was probably the best midfield in the Premier League. And he was playing alongside a right back, right? Obviously, he had Malo Gusto in there with him as opposed to another midfielder. So playing out from the back and linking play was probably a little bit more difficult for him. And somehow it didn't faze him at all.
Yeah.
He was almost the complete opposite of the Liverpool midfielders. And in my notes that I wrote while I was watching the game, none of the Liverpool midfielders were closing down any of Chelsea midfielders, right? We were almost playing this zonal. Like, I think I kind of understand what Arne Slot was trying to do. I think he was almost trying to force transitions by allowing Chelsea to play and expecting to win the ball and then counter quickly. But what ended up happening was free crosses were going into the box. Like, just numerous free crosses were allowed to go into the box. Numerous long shots, numerous passes were just completely devoid of any pressure. And it meant that almost every Chelsea player looked comfortable in the game. So Caicedo was really good in the sense that he was the complete opposite of that. He was closing guys down. He was preventing us from doing the things that we wanted to do, whereas we were allowing you guys to do whatever you wanted to do.
Yeah, definitely. And I'd say that going forward, someone like Enzo's had a bad run of games, I think. Like, last few games, my friends have been messaging me saying Enzo is the downfall of the midfield, blah, 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 blah. And he's hiding his performances because he scores. But I think he had a great game against you guys, especially in the lead up to
He was very
Esteval's goal. I think that's one of the best performances he's put in a long time. And I don't know, people want him out, but at the same time, he's proper Chelsea.
I think Enzo is so good. He, like, when he first joined and I watched it, I was like, oh, this guy is just so good. I remember there was a game I watched. I think it was against Liverpool, the first game of the season. I believe our first game of the season last year was against you, or maybe the year before.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure. But the game ended 1-1. And in that game, I didn't see Enzo do anything wrong. Or I don't remember seeing him do anything wrong. It's almost like, you know, when you see Frankie de Jong get the ball, you don't think there's going to be a mistake made. Or Pedri get the ball, you're like, he's not going to make a mistake. Like, Enzo almost has that feel when he's playing really well. He has that, you're never getting the ball from him. He's never giving you the ball. Like, he's never going to pass the ball to you. He always seems to make a good decision. And I don't know. I think that the Chelsea midfield, if it's on, is unreal. With Caicedo and Enzo in there, you just got to find the right guy, number 3. You just have to find the right guy.
Yeah, which is why I was saying that Lavia is the number 3, because as much as you said you don't trust Lavia in that, you don't think he's physical enough for that role, having Caicedo next to him and having Enzo in front of him, who's allowed to drop in and, you know, move in the spaces as he does, it just allows him to do that. Because if it's just Enzo and Caicedo, he doesn't have that much freedom. He's kind of restricted to trying to balance 100%. The pivot with Caicedo. So I'd say Lavia
100%
stables the ship and controls the tempo of the game.
That's a good way of putting it, I think.
Yeah.
It's like he does stable ship. And the thing with Lavia is, like, I think the only reason that I'm not convinced by his dual winning is because of what I've seen since he joined Chelsea. Because when he was at Southampton, and I remember when Liverpool, because obviously that summer was crazy with Caicedo and Lavia both joining Chelsea when Liverpool wanted both of them. I remember being really moved by Lavia in terms of not just what he could do with the ball, but his defensive play. And I think what the issue is in terms of what I've seen from him is that at Chelsea he doesn't seem to have the same role that he did at Southampton for obvious reasons because he's playing with better players. But at Southampton he definitely was capable of having that defensive impact. It's just we haven't really seen it at Chelsea. We always just so infatuated with Caicedo's defending. So you go on.
I was going to say, I think...
No, of course, go.
I think he just has a different role at Chelsea. I think his role is to... Oh, hold on a second. 1 second.
What's up?
My laptop is dying. Sorry.
Bro, you're not looking at the screen, bro. Even I got a notification for that. It said 20%. Remind him before his laptop dies. I thought, he probably just saw it. I'll just keep going.
Sorry, okay, we're back. What was I going to say?
About Lavia, his role.
I think he just has a different role to play. Obviously, he does contribute defensively when he can, but I think his role is just to link up play and control the tempo of the game.
No, I hear that.
No.
We're back. Don't worry, bro. Technical difficulties don't last too long, bro. We're back.
Okay,
we're
what
back.
was I saying? Yeah, I was saying his role is just to control the midfield, I guess. Keep the ball ticking, keep the ball moving, as you saw against Liverpool. And a lot of the games that he does come on in, that's the role I see him play. And I feel like Caicedo is more of a destroyer in that sense, whilst also carrying the burden of being his hybrid midfielder, as I like to call him.
Because, with Caicedo, it's like I'm almost so jealous because when you put a midfield together, obviously you're trying to mesh a bunch of different types of players together. And with Caicedo, it almost doesn't matter because he can be whatever you want. So let's say Enzo gets injured and you decide to throw out a different set of midfielders alongside him. He can be whichever one of the three roles that you need. Probably not like a 10, obviously not a 10, but he could play an 8, he could play a 6, he can play right back. At Brighton, he was playing right back all the time, doing this inverting stuff when it was really cool with De Zerbi. Then he played in midfield.
We also played him right back a couple times when Reece James was injured. So
exactly. Like he's really good there. And I think a lot of people don't realize how good Caicedo is on the ball because because people think he's like Kante and people think he's like Makelele in the sense that he's just going to win the ball back a lot. And with those kinds of players, people don't think, okay, they can actually play too. But Caicedo is one of the best midfielders on the ball in terms of his touches, his passing, his retention, his resistance to pressure. Like he's so good in that sense that you don't even have to be worried about him when he has the ball. Like he could play a lone 6 on his own if he really needed to as well.
Definitely. I feel like people just group him in that same category as Makelele, Golo Kante, Michael Essien, and just forget that he also has a completely different side to his game. Kante was good on the ball, but I feel like Caicedo is just more...
He's way better than Kante on the ball.
He's way better than Kante on the ball, honestly.
He's like
so
a different
composed.
level.
Yeah, 100%. So composed. Yeah. And it's crazy that we're speaking about him like this because first few games of his career, we were like, oh, is he worth the money? I was
worried. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about in my video about the Liverpool signings is that people are always concerned with like the very baseline because I think the reason that people are very concerned with the baseline things when it comes to a transfer and new players is because it gives you a way to talk about the player and be involved in the conversation without having to do much research or watch games. You can look at someone's price tag and then look at their player ratings in games, look at the narrative behind them, and you can almost just insert yourself into the conversation just based on those things, right? But what people don't realize is how almost difficult it is to go from playing in one team having one role to playing in a brand new team with 10 different players on the pitch with you in a different role, and like your life is completely different. Like, I almost think of it as when I was playing football before I went to uni, and then I went to uni, and I was playing with different guys in a different role. Like, it was completely different. And like I said with Verts went from playing the left half space, the team was designed for him, to playing in as a 10 or in the right half space, where he's just a guy, like he's not the guy anymore. Like Caicedo would have been facing the same thing, right? He was at Brighton where they played a certain way and Chelsea played a very different way.
Yeah.
And I don't think that is taken into account when we're talking about new signings. We don't think about the peripherals. We just think about price tag, performance.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that we often get it wrong. That's why we get it wrong so often. It's like people thought Caicedo was a flop. People thought, even Anthony, right? People thought Anthony was a flop because he played so bad at Man United and that he just wasn't good at football. But then he goes to a different system in a different country and he's incredible again, or like really good again.
Mm-hmm.
Modric was the same at Real Madrid. And when he first joined, it was worst signing of the season, apparently, or he was voted.
Honestly,
and then
that was a
fast forward a couple
period
years.
of time.
Yeah, and he wins the Ballon d'Or, and it's like, how as a media can you get it that wrong? And it's because we're not watching the games. Like we're saying, look, Verts won 16 mil, no goals, no assists, but you don't think why no goals, no assists, or Isak, why has he only scored one goal? It's like you don't have to do any hard work if you just say, look, performance versus price tag.
Honestly, I don't have any fears with Isak. I just think he needs just some games and some fitness because obviously he didn't play. At the start of the season, he was still at Newcastle, and you guys hadn't signed him yet, so he was just chilling on the. Well, he wasn't even on the bench, so
Nah,
he just hasn't played.
he wasn't even training.
He wasn't even training exactly. So I'm not worried about Isak because I know that once he's got his mojo back, once he's got a good run of games, we'll see the Isak that we saw causing trouble for your defenders.
Yeah, for our defenders
For
especially,
your defenders.
bro. Yeah.
There's one game you played Newcastle and he twisted Van Dijk up and slapped it. I was
And
like,
then
wow.
Bro,
Wow.
it was like the two games so obviously I think that was the cup final where he like messed up Van Dijk and he scored. But I think there was the game wherever Van Dijk got sent off and then Darwin scored the 2 goals off the bench where he won 2-1. That game as well, he cooked Van Dijk on that tackle. Like Van Dijk had to make that tackle, which ended up being a red card because Isak gave him crazy work.
Isak is a dangerous player, and the fact that you have both Isak and Ekitike is greedy. I'll be honest,
It's very greedy, man.
It's so greedy.
It's very greedy,
So greedy.
and I want to talk about Cucurella, right? But I think we'll talk about Cucurella quick, or we'll talk about him after we finish talking about Isak and Ekitike,
Okay,
right?
fine,
Because
fine.
I definitely want to give Cucurella his flowers.
Mm-hmm.
But with Isak and Ekitike is right now, it looks like Ekitike is a better player. Obviously, forgive me for saying, yeah, exactly. Forgive me for saying something that obviously I don't mean, but it looks like Ekitike is a better player than Isak. And it's because, well, in my opinion, it's because this current system is more familiar to him than Isak's role is at Liverpool, right? At Newcastle, everything was designed for Isak. Very similar to Verts at Leverkusen, right? Everything was get
Built
him the
around
ball.
him,
He's our
yeah.
best chance to score goals. So at Liverpool, we have this whole Mo Salah is the engine.
man,
Mo
yeah.
Salah is the system.
Yeah.
And you could see it in the game with that one of the chances that I was talking about. At Newcastle, Jacob Murphy is never passing up the opportunity to cross the ball to Isak. Like, he just simply isn't doing that. Like, that's his job, is to get him the ball. Whereas Salah is like, he's almost still learning how to play with him, which is why I'm not too worried. It's like, Man United had the same thing with Van Persie. You know, Ferguson said for a long time that they didn't know how to play with Van Persie at Man United. Haaland at Man City, they all had to learn how to play with him because he wasn't Aguero. And, you know, I think we'll get there. And it's just how many of these new players can you get there, right? Can you really get Kirkes Frimpong, Isak, Ekitike, Verts, all of them there?
At the same time. That's what I was going to ask you. How do you think they fit in together? Because even with City, because you said they had to find out how to play with Haaland, like for seasons after Aguero had retired, they were playing KDB at false 9, like still winning the league. Like, it was crazy. So how do you think Ekitike and Isak are going to fit in together?
Well, the thing when it comes to like with Ekitike and Isak, is I don't see a world in which they can play together because I don't think two striker formations are. I don't think they work for elite teams who are trying to control games just because you're sacrificing a midfielder. And one of my friends actually texted me today. He was like, I'm seeing the turmoil you're going through at Liverpool. I think you need to go back to the bog standard 4-4-2. That's the solution. And I was thinking about it, and like actually all day it was kind of, I was thinking like, could we do that, right? Where we went 4-4-2 with Salah at right midfield, Isak Ekitike up front, Gravenberch and I guess McAllister in midfield, and then you go with Gakpo, Wirtz at left midfield, right?
Question. What about Szoboszlai?
And see, this is the problem, right? And this is why I don't think we can do it, is because I think all three of those midfielders
Have to
need
play.
a spot.
Yeah.
And
I wanted to
think-
ask you something else just before you start again.
Uh-huh.
Because 4-4-2 is crazy because you don't even see like teams playing as a 4-4-2 in possession. It's usually like when they're off the ball. So
Yeah.
how's this going to work?
So okay, this is one thing about it that I thought that maybe it could work, right? And I'm going to pull up the quick tactics board so I can show what I'm talking about. Most teams actually press in a 4-4-2 nowadays.
Yeah.
Like they send a midfielder and a midfielder will go and join the pressing formation. So this is how most teams will press now.
Yeah.
Right? Like teams will have a centre back, like a keeper, a centre back like this, and they'll press almost. I should put one over here. They'll press like this, and then they'll have the flat four in the middle.
Yeah.
Right. So if we played 4-4-2, and let's say that this number 9 was Isak and this was Ekitike, or I guess we'd swap it because Ekitike likes the left side, then it would be really good for our pressing because we'd already be in this setup.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I would be really worried about is that, let's say this was Florian Wirtz, he likes to be here.
And that's the
right?
same space occupied by Ekitike.
Yeah, and
Similar.
it could mean that you have this little nice like triangle right here between these three players, which could provide good link up. And it could also allow for Kirkes to get all the way up here.
Yeah.
But I don't see how you could do it, because obviously this right here, this is probably going to be Jeremy Frimpong.
Yeah.
Who's trying to go here. Salah's trying to go here. So now you just have this big
Whole.
like hexagon of players. And this is what I was trying to explain in the video I made, is that you can't have this.
Both of them playing, yeah.
Like you can't have, because teams are going to kill, like Bournemouth, if we had played like this, Bournemouth would have scored like 5 goals because they were just counter-attacking us. Like Semenyo would have scored like 5 goals. So 4-4-2 in theory is like, it's really cool because you get everybody in. You could even decide to do some weird stuff where you put Szoboszlai in here, so you could have Mac 10, Gravenberch, Wirtz, Isak, Ekitike, Isak, Salah, right? Then you get all of the midfielders in. But then Szoboszlai wants to be here, Salah wants to be here, Isak wants to be around here, Ekitike wants to be here, Wirtz wants to be here, Mac 10 or Gravenberch's trying to go up here, with Kirkes all the way down there. And you have Konate, Van Dijk just chilling in the back, just waiting to get destroyed on the counter-attack.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I don't think they can play together. So I guess that's the answer to your question, is like, how could we get them in there together? I don't think they could play together. I think our only hope, really, is to play like the regular 4-3-3 and find a way to get Wirtz in this position.
But who do you start? Who do you want to start?
So if I was, obviously, this could go terribly wrong since I don't exactly know what I'm doing managing a Premier League club.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, I would start Bradley here with Konate, Van Dijk and Kirkes. Then I'd go with the regular midfield with Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai. Then I'd have Wirtz in here at the left wing, Isak, and then Like, Salah has to play, but I think he needs to change how he plays. So the reason I think this is the best way that we could play is because it gets the best out of two players who are currently in pretty bad situations.
Mm-hmm.
Kirkez is having to play like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think if we allow him to go here and Wirtz can play here, then Szoboszlai can get up here, and then these two can sit with this little three. And I think Bradley is good enough to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But what this means is that Salah can't be in the half space. He's got to play wide, which is what he isn't doing at the moment. Yeah. So that's what I mean. I think he can. I really think he can do it.
I think he's got it in him. He's getting old, you know.
I do. He is getting old. But I think if you can get him playing out here and Szoboszlai here and Gravenberch here, with Bradley almost resting in the defence, it means that now we can centre the team around the players that are going to be here for the next 5-6 years, right? Wirtz being in this position is lethal. Kirkez being up here, that's what we want, right? And then Isak having this space to roam for himself, I also think that's very good. So I think this is how I'd probably go if it was up to me.
What I was going to say is that playing Salah wide is going to be an issue because he's not as quick as he used to be.
I know, and that's part of it. That's like I don't know. I really don't think we have
pace. Like recently.
Yeah,
he's lost a lot.
We might just not have the team, man. Like at the end of the day, like you might just have to admit that like we just don't have the squad to play the way that gets the most out of the most players.
Trying to see what my go-to Chelsea team would be if everyone's fit.
All right, hit me. Would it be this formation, or do you want me to change it?
Put where you put Gravenberch. Put the two midfielders in front. Yeah, there we go. So left back Cucurella, centre back Colwill.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other centre back. I'm trying to see. That's between.
What do you think of Fofana?
I don't know. He hasn't played very much, and from what I've seen of him when he's fit, he seems a bit rash. So, obviously that'll be my go-to because we spent a lot of money on him, and I saw what he could do at Leicester. But I don't know. It's between him and Trevor Chalobah, or that's a rogue.
That's rogue.
That's rogue.
He's not bad though.
He's decent.
I mean, I'm so confused that for all of the centre backs that you have, that none of them are ready to play football.
Yeah,
like how can none of them be ready? Because you have so many. Like Colwill is injured, Tosin is injured, right? Actually,
Chalobah has a red card.
He was sent off.
Yeah.
But then, okay, I guess you have Hato and he's over here.
Yeah.
He would play in this one.
Yeah.
He wouldn't play over here. I think he could be really good. Like
I think he could be good too. I just don't know too much about him. I just want to see him play more. But I think he's got them. I think he can be good for us.
I think the fact that he was Ajax's captain at 18 says a lot about how good he can be.
Yeah. Because
you're not making anyone captain, especially not an 18-year-old.
Especially not Ajax, because Ajax are just technical, bro. So technical.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's Colwill and Fofana / Trevor, I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Right back, obviously, Reece James. Two midfielders, Caicedo, Lavia.
Yeah.
Enzo in front.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer on the right.
Yeah.
Neto.
Has to be, bro.
Has to be Neto.
I'm his biggest fan. Actually, no, I'm not his biggest fan. My friend Jamie is his biggest fan. I love him though, but Jamie's he's a bigger fan than I am, bro.
João Pedro. Hold on.
Okay.
When we played with João Pedro and Liam Delap, I was like, this is the truth. So I'm trying to figure out how.
With both of them?
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. I've never seen it play, but
I just don't know how to fit that in off the top of my head. Like I remember they played together, but I just don't remember where each person was playing.
I think you could do that.
Delap was the traditional 9, but I think João Pedro was coming off the left.
You could do that if you did something like this. Like if you went like that and played like almost like the 4-2-2. Because then it allows Palmer to get... Okay, the thing about this, playing it like this, is that these two, like Lavia and Caicedo, quite literally have to stop every single counter-attack.
Yeah.
Because obviously
The midfield
Cucurella...
is just, it's cooked otherwise.
It's almost exactly like what we were talking about with Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this is Cucurella or Kirkez, right? Then this could be James or Frimpong. And I guess James could do a little bit of help defensively. He doesn't need to go up here.
100%.
He's definitely better at that than Frimpong is, who always wants to go. Palmer and Salah are similar in this little space here.
Yeah.
What are you going to say?
Very true. I was going to say, I just really like how João Pedro and Delap work together.
Like
Delap is like your traditional 9, and he makes the runs he makes. Like, I was watching some of his games. The runs he makes are insane. But then João Pedro is not your... Yes, he scores goals, and yes, don't get it wrong, he is so cold, but he's not your traditional 9, I'd say.
No.
So
but those are dying, bro. Traditional 9s are dying.
Traditional 9s are dying. That's what I'm saying. Liam Delap is the truth. He's
Oh,
reviving them.
okay.
He's reviving them.
Okay. He's the He's the answer. Okay.
Like, when they play together, the runs that Delap make, I'm just like, wow, this is insane. Like, this is what we've needed all this time.
Okay. But then would you be content with Enzo being over here?
Would I be content with Enzo being there?
Obviously, licensed to come over and do whatever, but he would obviously have to be in this area.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That kind of scares me.
That kind of scares me too. I don't know. That left side is just a bit... It needs some work.
I think what it is like, what we just saw your team... and I guess it's good for us to get back to that game that we're talking about, is this team that you went out with, and I guess who started for you guys? Was it Neto? Who was the other side then? Garnacho.
Gittins. Oh, Garnacho, yeah. Gittins came on for him, yeah.
So this team right here without Cole Palmer almost operates more like a team than when Cole Palmer's in, because it's almost like when Liverpool don't play with Salah. Is that...
Because they're similar profiles, yeah. They both drift in from the right.
And when this player is so essential to what you're trying to do, as in like they're going to get the ball very, very often, it means that like this player is almost not necessary. I think that's why Liverpool have been so good with getting Salah involved, is that we don't play with a 10. Like we play with like 2 6s, 1 6 and 2 8s. Right? Soboslai's not really getting in here, which means that we're not wasting a body. Whereas, like you're saying, you want to play this little double pivot, Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo. It's like, this could be nice link up, like here, but Enzo's almost...
Or what you could do is have Caicedo as the deep 6 and have Lavia and Enzo playing in front of him.
Like this?
Yeah.
I would actually argue that you would want to go the other way and have Caicedo. I should have the names. It would be nice to have the names.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Lavia here.
Have Lavia here and then Caicedo.
Yeah.
Right? Because Caicedo would be better in these little, like, progressive things. And then as a presser...
Lavia link in play as well.
Yeah, like Lavia in this little...
Yeah. Sorry, that's even what I've been speaking about him this whole time. I didn't even put him in that position. Yeah. That's crazy. Hold on, I'm trying to find out how we played Liam Delap and João Pedro together.
Played them together.
Yeah. Chelsea.
It's definitely interesting.
Who did we come on? Oh,
I definitely
never mind.
think
They just substituted each other. So I don't know.
I definitely think you can do it. I think it's one of those things that you would never start the game in. Like, I don't think you'd ever start the game with 2 strikers.
Oh, 100%. They come on. He would come off the bench. One of them would come off the bench. I
think for like Liverpool...
Delap was that person. Yeah, Delap was definitely the one who came off the bench.
Right. So I think for like Liverpool, this would be the kind of thing we do. So let's say... What do we normally play? We play like this, right? So we start out like this. Let's say like Gakpo is playing left wing and he's subbed off. We would then bring on like Ekitike, for example, and we rock with like let's say we're chasing a game, we want a goal. Then we would play something like this, which is kind of similar to what we did last year. Like sometimes we would have Salah play up front with Luis Diaz, because Luis Diaz was our striker last year, like our false 9, along with Jota, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
And Salah would end up playing up front with him in almost like a pseudo 4-4-2. And I think it's definitely a thing that works when like it fits the game state. But at 0-0, I just don't ever see why you'd play 4-4-2.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like one mistake from one of these two guys, and you're now playing 4. Or maybe if these guys go and someone makes a mistake here, you're playing like 3v2. And it's just recipe for disaster, especially in the Premier League.
Yeah. Can I just say,
but it's definitely interesting.
This has been great. Like from what we discussed and what we've like actually spoken about on the podcast, from like even from the FaceTime we had before, like we've completely taken this. Like we've gone off.
Left, right? I know. But that's the fun of football, is like you could talk about this stuff for hours and like what you can do. And it's why I guess it's difficult to be a manager, because we, like when we're doing this on the board, can do whatever we want with like whoever we want. Managers have to factor in, okay, let's say this perfect situation where you have Caicedo, Lavia, Colwill, Cucurella, let's say this is Fofana, James. What if Enzo has a really, really bad training session, right? Like really, really bad, and you're not confident that you can play him in the next game? Well, now you're thinking, maybe do I put Palmer in here and then bring somebody in off the bench? And it completely throws everything off, right?
Yeah.
Because this is not the balance that you assumed you would have with that midfield 3. So then you think, okay, maybe do I change the formation? Do I go with maybe like this? Oh, sorry, that's the same thing. Do I go with something like this, right? And play more defensive because now I don't have my 10. And it's like you can do so many things with a squad of 11 players. But managers are at training and they know that some players simply are not ready to play. Like Slot would have seen a lot of games where he said that Bradley is just not ready to play, which means you have to play Frimpong or Szoboszlai at right back, which means then you have to play a certain midfield 3. And we're speaking in theoreticals. They're there every day like, look, this is all I've got, bro. Like, I don't have anything else.
Honestly. What's also crazy is the fact that they have so many players to choose from. Like, how do you settle on just that 1-11?
Yeah, no, I was thinking the other day, like, surely Maresca has favourites. Like, I think it's human nature to have favourites in certain situations, where it's favourite friends, favourite football players, favourite basketball players. Like, you're always going to have your favourites. And I wonder who they are for Maresca, because it seems like new guys are playing every week.
Well,
so who does he actually like?
Caicedo, obviously.
Well, yeah, of course Caicedo, but he has to play Caicedo.
Cole Palmer, obviously, but Cole Palmer's injured.
Yeah, true.
I think he really likes João Pedro.
Seems like it.
Cucurella, he's a big fan of Cucurella, I think.
True. But I think he also, like, not to be horrible to Ben Chilwell, but I think Ben Chilwell almost forced him into liking Cucurella because of just how...
Honestly, Ben Chilwell...
like, he was so unavailable, and then he would be available, and then he'd be bad.
Ben Chilwell,
so
he used to be so good, and then...
He used to be. Bro, him and Fofana at Leicester. Cooking!
Not even that. The year we won the Champions League with Mason Mount,
you're right.
Havertz, Werner, that back line was Chilwell, Reece James, Rudiger. Bro, it was crazy.
Was Thiago Silva there as well?
Yeah, Thiago Silva was there as well.
Wow, that's a real defense, bro.
That's a real defense.
I saw somebody
saying... Thiago Silva, wow.
Yeah, I saw somebody saying that obviously your team now is really young, and I think that's Chelsea's new ethos. It's like, we want young players, we want cheap young players on long deals. Because I'm saying cheap, and you're signing guys for 40, 50 mil, but nowadays that's really cheap.
Yeah.
If you buy 10 players for 400 mil, that's Chelsea's ethos. Whereas Liverpool, we've gone out and spent 400 mil on like 3 guys or 4 guys or whatever. So everybody's young, but it means that you are trotting out Badiashile and Achimpong in a game against the defending champions. And I saw somebody say, I think it was maybe Paul Merson, said something like, Thiago Silva in this team would be absolutely perfect because you're so close to having the squad to win the league, but you just don't have experience that's consistent, because Reece James is going to miss like 5-10 games a season, and he is your experience. Like, Caicedo is a great player, doesn't have much experience winning leagues, like Premier Leagues. Avia, again, has no real
No
experience.
Yeah, that's true.
Palmer doesn't have any either. I guess he was at City, but he wasn't playing. He doesn't know what it's like.
I guess, but he still saw a lot
Yeah, no, you're right.
because he was still training under Pep. Like he definitely saw a lot.
But obviously, his role is now different, right?
Of course,
Like
he's now the main man.
Yeah, he's now seeing, or he's now experiencing what it would have been like to be De Bruyne at Man City.
Yeah, or like Foden was for those few seasons.
Yeah, and then obviously Pedro, like that. There is no experience of what to do when you lose 2 games in a row. What to do when you go 2-0 up and all of a sudden in 10 minutes you can see 2 goals. Right? So I think that's why Liverpool were able to win 7 games in a row to start the season. It's like we're playing terrible, but we have guys who know how to win games.
Exactly. You've got Van Dijk, you've got Robertson, you've got Salah, you've got all these players.
But it's definitely interesting to think about. And I just before we wrap up, I want to talk about our boy Cucurella.
Oh yeah, how could we forget?
How could we forget? And I guess I'll drop it. Actually, let me go with blue for Chelsea.
I was even gonna say people hate on Cucurella so much. I just think he's an average player, but he's so crucial to us.
He is so good, but I don't want to give him. No, actually, no. That's gonna sound really bad. I don't want to give him too much credit.
Mm-hmm.
Take this with a pinch of salt. I don't want to give him too much credit because I think the reason he was so good was primarily tactical.
Yeah.
So you went out with, who was it? Gusto, Caicedo, Enzo, Pedro, Neto, João Pedro, Garnacho, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what would happen a lot is when you guys would attack, we would be like this. So the squad would end up being like this. He's up here.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And what would happen a lot is, I don't like number 1 being there. He needs to go. He just has to go, bro. Who's out of position? Nah. Because why is number 1 in the play, bro? What the hell? That's a goalkeeper, bro. Okay. So, what we would have is, and I'm going to even make it even more clear as to how bad our midfield was at tracking your midfield, is that a lot of the time, this is how Caicedo scored his goal, right? The ball comes to him and there is, like, McAllister's like 5 yards off, he tries to win the ball and he's out of the play, and now Caicedo's on the edge of the box with no one. This where you get this clip of Van Dijk
just
sticking his booty out while Caicedo is literally standing here and no one's near him. Like, what is this midfield 3 doing?
Can we just talk about Caicedo's first touch to get past McAllister? Like, bro. Wow.
So good.
Wow.
Just so good.
Wow.
But look, let me give Liverpool the benefit of the doubt. Let's say that the midfield is in the positions that it should be, right? Let's give them the benefit of that doubt. So we'll put them here. The problem that we had all game is that Salah would stand right here while this was going on. So this is Cucurella with the ball, and he had exclusive license to just play whatever he wanted. And he said it in the post-game interview. He said, well, we know that they play only one kind of way. Salah is going to let me play, and he doesn't come back to defend.
And he needs to play in the space behind Salah. Yeah.
And on the final goal, we have obviously this, and this is Esteval coming in late, and Robertson has his hands on his knees. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Flipping nonsense, bro.
So where's Enzo?
And I'm not sure exactly where he was, but he's like, this is your attacking line, and obviously Esteval's getting in here late with Robertson back there.
Because bear in mind, Enzo played in a pass to Cucurella to then cross goal.
So we'll say this is Cucurella. This is Enzo who passes the ball, right? And Cucurella gets in behind, right? Salah is quite literally standing right here, watching everything go on. Like, oh my God. I screen recorded the game, but it didn't record properly, and I'm so annoyed because I had all of these, like, I'm telling you, these notes I wrote, like, I have...
You have visual evidence.
bro, I have timestamps
Yeah, that's crazy.
of everything that happened. And Salah is standing here.
Just doing
And bear in
nothing.
mind, this is the 96th minute. So, bro, I know you might want to go and counterattack, but let's not lose the game. And he's just watching them. And the ball goes in here, and Robertson, for some reason, just... It's like when Vinny scored the Champions League winner against Trent. Like, he just doesn't see him. And the ball just goes straight in. But
Question.
This is... Yeah, go on.
Who are you playing the week after international break?
Man United.
Yeah, we're locked in. We're locked in. We're locked in.
We're locked
We're
in,
locked
bro.
in.
The analysis for that game is going to be beautiful, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna
because
be insane.
Because in that game, we're not going to have any of these problems. Salah can do this nonsense against Man United, and we're going to be fine because they don't attack with enough players.
Yeah.
They don't attack with like Man United play. Obviously, they play this little 3-1-2-3-4, and the 3 is like really narrow. It's like this, right? But these two are like, this is like Casemiro and Ugarte. They're not trying to go anywhere. And I watched this. Saw this analysis of Man United, and obviously sometimes this is Bruno. So they almost attack like this, and these fullbacks never get involved in the attacks. Like, are you ever seeing Dorgu scoring or assisting or Dallo? Like, it never happens, right? So if they're gonna play this little 5-1-4 nonsense, we have enough bodies that we're not gonna be
outnumbered.
Like the problem, we're not gonna be outnumbered. And the problem we had against Chelsea is that the gaps, the gaps here when this player had the ball would be like this far, like we'd stand this far off.
Sorry, the
and vice
phrase
versa.
is overload. That's what they use, overload.
Yeah, right. But against Man United, it's like this dude is not there. They play with Bruno like this, and Bomo's somewhere here. Cunha will play here, or he's up front, and Šeško's there, or whatever. Ahmad might get involved if he's playing right wing back, but we can afford these kinds of gaps because there are only really 5 players here. But Chelsea was Cucurella, Garnacho, Caicedo's up here, Gusto's here, James is here. You have your who's the other midfielder? Enzo here. And now, if you stand off like this, like we did, ball's going in here, ball's going in here, or like for the goal, it's literally like this. Ball comes here, McAllister's late, Caicedo runs, he puts the ball in the net. That's not happening against Man United. Right? But you did a really good job of, like you just said, using this overload, especially on this side of the pitch when Salah's just standing and watching.
Just doing this, bro.
He's doing nothing, bro. Like, Mac 10 standing 5 yards off. Very good, bro. Very, very good standing 5 yards off. Salah, your man is just with the ball. Who was that right back? Bradley, poor guy, bro. You know, if I was Bradley, I'd be like, it's just a shame that you have to do this, bro.
Oh, bro.
Because Garnacho was like low-key giving him hell. Like, he was like actually playing relatively well in these 1v1s.
Can I just say,
But
I wasn't a fan of this Garnacho signing when it was announced, but I'm seeing it. I'll be real. I'm seeing it.
Bro, he's direct.
We haven't had a
Like,
direct winger in a long time.
He's just go like, he gets the ball and he's just going, bro. He's just going at him. It's like why I love Rio and Gamoa, because he gets the ball and he's just running at guys.
Honestly. Because especially from last season when we had guys like Noni Madueke, just a full play merchant.
All the step over, and then
The
nothing,
end products wasn't great, but let me not even slate the guy because he's doing well at Arsenal. But
he is. But why is he doing good at Arsenal? Because he's just running. He's get the ball here and he's just running to the byline, just running.
Watching
who do we have?
Madueke is like what people think watching Gittins is like, just running for ages and
just running.
But
Gittins was low-key doing it as well, bro. Gittins was like running. But like the thing with Liverpool is like we don't have that. Like Engamoa, please, in 5 years, I'm praying this dude becomes good enough to play.
He's cold. I saw his goal. Yeah, he's cold.
Because
so cold.
Right now we have this stupid Actually, let me not be horrible because Gakpo's a good player, and I shouldn't call him stupid anyway. But we have Gakpo, who is just addicted. He's addicted to this cut back, run, cut back. Run, cut back. And it means we never get the ball in positions like this, which is where Isak needs the ball to be to get the ball in the net. Right? You guys are doing... I mean, look at the final goal. It's direct, get the ball here, just put it across the face of the goal. Someone's going to go and get it. But we're not getting any of that. Like, look at, even our goal was garbage, bro. But what did it come from? Salah attacking the byline, or maybe it was Bradley. Somebody attacking the byline, cross the ball in, Isak brings it down, Gakpo knocks it in.
Touch.
None of this, like...
That was a touch.
A touch.
touch.
What a touch, bro. But it's like, are they not watching the game and reading what's going on in the game? Because we scored one goal from all of the incredible chances apparently we had. And the goal came from just being direct, just going down the byline and putting the ball in this. The goal is over here, right? Like, you don't need the ball out here in this space. And you need the ball right here in the box. And that's how we scored our goal.
I feel like
that's how you scored the winner.
Sometimes you just have to go back to basics. All this like tactical football, just run down the line and cross it in.
It just frustrated me so much watching that, bro. It just frustrated me. And the way we were pressing. It's like, I don't even know how long do we have, because I have so much to say about the way that we played. I have just so much to say, because we would do... Where's Isak at, bro? Flipping hell. We were pressing with this... You know, I said everybody presses 4-4-2, right? So we would do that. Very good. We'd press in this 4-4-2. But for some reason, if Szoboszlai was ever beat this way and the centre-back was here, he wasn't going and pressing the ball. Like I said, we were doing this zonal stuff. And again, this is why Cucurella was so good, right? Because he just goes stand over here when Badiashile would have the ball. And Salah is, I have the notes, it's press and shape, not good for defending, play out the back. Salah can't go get the centre-back. He can't go get the centre-back, but he's in no man's land for the left-back too. Szoboszlai likely needs to be on the centre-back if we're pressing in this 4-4-2 shape, but he isn't, because he was over here. So Badiashile would have the ball and he can just stand still for 10 minutes. Like, Salah can't go, because if he goes, ball goes over there.
Rilo, you know what that is, bro?
What?
That's that Crips football brain, bro.
Oh my god, bro. Crystal Palace. Wow.
Crystal Palace, bro. What a time to be
alive,
alive.
bro. What a time. And I was playing right here, bro. This is me right here in the 6th.
Yeah, bro. Doing everything.
But yeah, this was so frustrating to watch. I'm like, I can see what he's trying to do. He's saying, we're not going to let the ball go into Caicedo, but we also don't want the ball to be directly passed to Cucurella. It was almost like we were saying, and this is what I got from the game, it was, let these two inexperienced centre-backs have the ball as much as we can and hope they make a mistake. But that's not how you should play if you're the champions. You should go get it. Go get the ball off him if he's that bad. Don't do this.
Press him.
Yeah. We were doing this zonal stuff, and it's like, yeah, we'd go man-to-man on the backside. It was kind of... It's really funny. I wrote this article about European and American football, like how they're similar. There are these plays in American football where you run two different concepts. Like on one side of the field, you run man coverage, and the other side you play zone. This was low-key what we were doing. Like, we were running this zone coverage right here, so wherever he went, it didn't really matter. Szoboszlai was in this zone. And Salah was playing in between two in the zone right here. And
sorry, can I say something quickly?
Yeah, what's up?
Just to cut you off. Not to cut you off. But
no,
guys, we might have teased something there about NFL. I'm just saying. Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
There's a lot to unpack there, I'll be honest.
There's so much. But I completely understand why Slot wanted to do something different. Because what team would have ever really seen something like this? This like split field coverage thing? This man here, zone here. But it just didn't work. And after 30, 40 minutes, like when you see this kind of thing is just not working and Cucurella is having the game of his life, just go back to basics. Let's go man to man. You get up. Like, let's go guys, please, let's go man to man. Like, we don't need to do all of this weird stuff. We could just play how we played last year and won the league. So, I'm not sure. I kind of think that this was a case of Slot overthinking. And I'm going to get rid of the screen now. I think this may have been a case of Slot overthinking the game and doing stuff that maybe we shouldn't have done. But we have to give props to Chelsea because they deserved the win.
Thank you.
And yes, it's looking bleak. It's looking bleak for Liverpool in the coming weeks, man.
I'll be honest, it's looking bleak for us too.
Yeah, but not for performance reasons, for personnel reasons.
Personnel and performance reasons. We dropped some stinkers in the last 2 games before Liverpool.
Who did you play before Liverpool?
Oh, I can't remember, but there was a run of 2 games where we got 2 red cards. And then,
oh, yeah, bro.
and then you make the most negative substitutions.
Bro, it was 3 games in a row because you had one against United. That was Sanchez.
Oh, and then
I remember that.
Then Enzo got sent off in your game, in the Liverpool game.
No. Wait, what?
Enzo Maresca.
No.
Enzo Maresca.
Oh, yeah, Maresca. Yeah. Then you had Chalobah obviously got sent off against Brighton the next game. And then in the Champions League, João Pedro got sent off in the 96th minute. I didn't even realise that. So that's 3 straight matches of red cards before Liverpool.
We need to get our discipline in order.
So, I don't know. I think you guys, in terms of the players that you have and the way that they're playing, it's looking good. It's looking very good.
We just need everyone to be fit.
Yeah, that's it, really.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh, and you have to hope that when Palmer comes back, he doesn't throw off the balance because...
Right, yeah.
Like we said, obviously, he changes a lot.
He does change a lot.
You know, Pedro goes back to the left side. You don't have the directness anymore. Mm-hmm. He's more like Salah.
That's very true. But then again, like in games like when we played PSG in the Club World Cup, Cole Palmer was essential.
Yeah, he was.
It's that coming off the right and then playing through the line
with the strike,
with the overlapping run. Oh, bro, it's crazy.
That's what it allows. It's like if you have, I think the perfect balance for teams nowadays is to have one fullback that likes to go and one that doesn't. And you want the fullback that likes to attack on the same side that your best creator is. Yeah, so 100%. For us, it would be Trent going past Salah. On the backside, we have Robertson chilling out because Gakpo's, not our chief creator. And then for Chelsea, it's Reece James going around Palmer. And then you have Cucurella chilling out a little bit on the other side, right? But Liverpool have this problem right now where both fullbacks want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And it means that either one of them is not allowed to go, so they don't play very well, because obviously that's not their specialty, or they both go, and we're going to concede 8 goals a game.
Yeah. Having said that, though, Cucurella also likes to overlap sometimes, as you saw with Esteban's goal, and then with Enzo playing that pass, and so it just depends, really. Depends on the situation of the game, I think.
It does. And I think I wonder... Well, I think what you have at Chelsea, which is really nice, is that both fullbacks are pretty good if they need to stay back as well. And obviously, when the ball's on one side of the pitch, the other side, you get this in almost any level of football, is like the other side will just, they'll retract a little bit and collapse down. So James will chill out when Cucurella is gone and vice versa.
Yeah.
But I'd love to know what would have happened if Salah started tracking Cucurella back. Would Cucurella have continued to advance so much knowing that Salah would have been there and we'd have a numerical, indifference?
But has he got the engine for that, to be tracking back? Or was he losing
Salah?
it? Yeah, was he losing
I think Salah has this complex where it's it doesn't matter if we concede 5 goals, I'm going to score 6. And I don't know what's wrong with him. Because
hero complex.
Yeah, it's almost like apparently his first conversation with Slot before he joined, or when Slot joined, was, if you limit the amount I have to defend, I'm going to score enough goals and get enough assists for us to win the Premier League. And he did it.
Fez.
And he flipping did it, bro. He had 29 goals, 18 assists, in 1 year.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
I think Salah has this idea in his head that's bro, it doesn't matter what happens at the back. It doesn't matter because I'm going to score. Brother, it might not be you anymore, man. You might have to pass the baton.
This might be off script, but we haven't planned this. This is nothing we researched on, but based on things that I've seen recently, what is going on with the Baltimore Ravens?
No. We're not doing that. We're not doing that, bro. We're not. No. I refuse to talk about what's going on over there because
that's actually my team. But what's going on?
we're not gonna do that because look, we've had a good discussion and I don't want to end it by being sad.
Okay.
I'm already sad enough talking about how Liverpool are just crushing my dreams. If we start talking about the Ravens,
bro, it's peak.
1-4, Lamar is injured.
Is injured.
We lost 40. What was it? 44-10 yesterday.
Yeah, I saw it. I said, yeah, this is peak. I showed my dad. He said, yeah, this isn't good.
I watched the highlights this afternoon. I actually couldn't believe my eye. It felt like a preseason game where like we didn't have any starters in, but they were all there. They were on the field. There was no Lamar. That was it.
No Lamar, yeah.
The defense sucks. Oh no!
Don't get me started from time that Mark Andrews dropped that pass in the
Last year,
in the playoffs.
I will never forgive him. He could have 5 150-yard games in a row. I do not care.
When it mattered, he wasn't live.
He dropped the ball. Like, how do you? And then he came into the season. I didn't stop thinking about it for the whole off season. Well, neither did we, buddy. Neither did we. All right, we thought about it for the rest of the off season as well.
I was watching that game. I was like, yes, they're coming back. Yeah, love.
Like, bro, we did everything. It's a flipping 2-point conversion, bro. It's like it wasn't even a difficult catch.
Fumbles in that game.
Yeah, he did as well. Oh my god, let's not start talking about fumbles because Lamar's fumbling the ball. Derrick Henry fumbled 3 games in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
but
no, we'll have to call it.
What I would say, sorry, just to end. Also, we probably will do a segment on NFL at some point, but to begin with, we'll probably just stick with Premier League and see how that goes.
Stick to what we know, at least in enough detail.
Yeah, facts. I just wanted to say this last thing. From what I've seen of Drake May in his last game, wow.
Very good. Wow. Very good. Very good. Drake May.
Yeah.
And Bo Nix.
Bo Nix. Jackson Dart.
Have they played yet? Did they play today or did they play yesterday?
I think they played yesterday. Actually, no, that might have been from. Yeah, did they play? Yeah, they did.
Well, they did play yesterday. They lost.
Played the Saints. Yeah.
Yikes!
He threw a few picks.
20. Wait, did he?
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not seeing that. Let me see. I'm seeing. I'm seeing 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Yikes!
Yeah. Here I was down on his hill that he's good, but damn.
Yo. Damn. I mean, okay, we have to be fair to him. It's his second game.
Yeah, Fez.
It's his second game, and he did still complete 60% of his passes. So
that's not bad.
And you never know with these picks, bro. Because did you see the pick, the Mark Andrews pick, the Coop from Coopera, where he like bobbled, and then just threw it up in the sky?
Yeah.
Like, brother, at that point, just it's over. Like, if you're bobbling it 5 times, just stop trying to catch it because this is gonna happen. You're gonna tip it up to somebody. So we don't know. They could have been the BS kind of picks, but who knows?
What was I gonna say? It's lost me. I guess that's it.
That's a good thing, bro. Let's let the guys rest. Let everybody rest, bro. What we've been at, hour and a half.
There was a lot to unpack there. So.
There was, but no, I think we covered everything that was like the core points of the game. Gave some players their flowers. Definitely looked at the systems and why they didn't work. And I think this was probably one of those games that was a perfect representation of why systems work, and you can't just have the best players. Because we had the better players overall, but they weren't deployed correctly.
Exactly.
So I think, in the following weeks, hopefully, I really like it when the Premier League, like all the big clubs are really good. So I hope Chelsea continue to keep it up, and I hope we can turn it around so that we can have I want the reverse fixture. Yeah, like at Anfield, the reverse fixture, I want it to be like a good game, you know.
It's always a good game at Anfield, bro.
True.
It's always a good game at Anfield.
Every game at Anfield's a good game, brother.
Hate to say it, but he's right.
Yeah. All right, but that's all we got for you today, guys. If you have any comments, leave them below. I hope you enjoyed having a guest back, because it's been a while since we had a guest on the Reasons podcast. But let them sign out if you'd like.
Yeah, thanks you guys for having me. Hopefully this won't be the last you see of me. And yeah, I just like to see how the fans engage with this one, to be honest.
Yeah. Just
like to
leave
hear
all your
their
thoughts
views.
down below.
Yeah, honestly.
Yeah. Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, neutrals, all of you, let us know what you think.
Right.
Let us know if you think our tactical analysis was poor, if you thought it was good.
Hey, let me know if I did badly or not. This is my first rodeo, so
True. This is Lem's first time up on the podcast, so
Yeah.
I think you did good. I
Thank
think
you.
you held your own.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
yeah, guys, we will be back with some more in the future. Some football stuff, like we said, some NFL stuff. But I'm just happy the Reasons podcast is back. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
And yeah, that's all we got for you today. So peace out.
Peace out, guys. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Reasons podcast. Make sure to tune into the next episode.